Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome to Talking Texas State Sports. I'm Jayden Lockett.
I'm Isaiah Cook. Congratulations to the Bobcats football team. They beat Georgia Southern 45-24 this week, their sixth win. This makes Texas State eligible to play in a bowl for the first time since 2014. Texas State has been bowl eligible twice before in 2013 and 14, but the Bobcats have never been invited to participate in a bowl game. Of course, we're all hoping that this changes this year, especially if they beat Coastal Carolina or somebody gets to 7 wins. So after 11 years in the FBS division of college football, this seems like our best chance to get in a bowl game.
Tony Cooper is joining us live from home. He's on injury reserve right now, but he said he wasn't missing a chance to talk about Bobcats football and other sports. Tony, hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Again, apologies I couldn't make it today. Little minor injury on my leg. But I will say I am very excited to know that our school is in the bowl eligible side of things. And I think it has a lot to do with the new coach and the new president, especially coming in, making some positive changes. And it's leading to, hopefully, a title. We'll see.
I like the attitude. I love the positive outlook, Tony.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. The president has done great things for the school. I love his school spirit. I see him at the games this last week, and he was shooting T-shirts out the cannon. Almost caught one, but I like to see him do good things. He's doing great things. Like he was at Dutch Bros the other day. When I used to work at Chipotle, he came through. I got a picture with him. Cool guy, shook his hand. Shout out G.J. Ken as well. The things he's done for our school and our football team is incredible.
Really excited. I'm going to start going to more games because the past few years I have not gone to any games. I've just gone to the tailgates and went home like everybody else. But with all these changes going on and us actually winning, it's boosting the morale for all the students, and we're actually showing up to games. People are in the stands. It's hard to find a seat now, which is wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got here 3-4 years ago, stands were empty, man. We were, I think, 2 and 11, something like that. But, hey, man, it's great to see a positive outlook on our football team, and I'm excited for what the future holds. The Bobcats kicked off their first basketball game last night with a loss to Little Rock, Arkansas. I believe the score was 71-66. Bobcats took the L.
Basketball season started already?
Yep.
Yeah.
First game kicked off yesterday, folks.
I want to say it started officially Monday, but yeah, our first game was yesterday.
Yeah, first Bobcats basketball game.
I definitely want to go see a men's game. Even though our football team at least hasn't been doing good in the past, the basketball team has been pretty decent. So I've been going to those games.
I agree. Shout out Jordan Mason. I went to high school with him. He played on the basketball team at Tom C. Clark High School. He averaged 30 a game. He's incredible, man. He's got East Bay dunks. Athleticism is through the roof. So I'm excited to see what he holds this year. Hopefully, good season for the Bobcats basketball team.
Maybe we'll get full stands in the basketball stadium like we do.
That'd be cool. Have a whiteout or something like that.
That'd be big.
Yeah.
That'd be huge.
Telling you, man, with every school, as long as you have a decent football team, the school spirit is going to be through the roof.
I agree. That's a good point, yeah. Football carries the program through. And I mean, our baseball team has been good, too. I mean, past seasons, we beat Texas. I mean, that's huge for Texas State, being the little brother school to UT. That's huge. We got a lot of potential, folks, and the future's bright for Texas State sports.
Oh, yes. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, let's talk about college football besides the Bobcats, y'all.
The college football playoff rankings have been appearing for a few weeks now. Ohio State is still ranked number 1.
Georgia is number 2, Michigan's number 3, and Florida State is number 4. They are all undefeated. The University of Washington out in the Pac-12 is also undefeated. They're ranked number 5, but for now, this puts them just outside the semifinals, the playoff, where they want to be. Do you think Ohio State is better than Michigan? My fault, guys.
It's a great question because Michigan has won every single game by a blowout. They won every game by at least 21 points, while Ohio State has had a couple squeakers, especially against Notre Dame. The argument is that Ohio State has played a tougher schedule. We'll see how true that is in a couple of weeks when Ohio State plays Michigan.
I like this because I will say Ohio State is frauds. They were down to Rutgers at halftime last week, which is embarrassing. Rutgers is not known for their football program, y'all. To be down at halftime to a small school like that is just embarrassing. You want to call yourself a top 4 program or top 4 college football playoff contending team.
with the number 1 receiver in college football.
Yeah, it's some fraud behavior in my opinion. But let's continue. Texas is ranked higher than Oklahoma. Big thanks to Oklahoma for hanging in a last-second win on the Sooners. Texas is ranked number 7, just behind Oregon at number 6. Oregon and Texas each have a loss, as does Alabama, which is ranked number 8. It makes more sense they'd be behind the Longhorns since they lost at home to Texas.
So how good are the Longhorns? They have barely escaped a couple games already, especially against Kansas State, where they got really lucky with Kansas State missing a late field goal.
Really lucky.
And their coach going for a touchdown instead of a field goal that would have tied the game in overtime.
I really want to talk about this because I was watching it live. They were down by 20 at one point. The live odds were plus 1,000. So you bet $10, you win 100. You bet 100, you win 1,000. They were down huge, folks, and they wielded the power to come back and do it. And they missed this field goal in crunch time. You need this field goal. You could go for a touchdown, but no. You know, you kick a field goal. He misses it. Shanks a 20-yarder. After this, you get the ball back with a minute left. You make the field goal. You go to OT. You miss the 2-point conversion. You got to be better than this, coach. Call a better play. They get sacked. They don't even get the ball off. Come on. If you want to beat Texas at Texas, you got to play better. You got to call better calls.
They just gave away that game.
They gave it away, man. They had it. They had every opportunity to win that football game. But, Tony, what is your opinion on this, man? Did you watch that game?
I did, but that sounds crazy. If I was there, I'd be going for UT. No Longhorn. Let's go. Hook 'em, baby. But that's really piss poor with the coach for Kansas, right?
Kansas State.
Yeah.
Kansas State did. Like you practically had the game in the bag as long as you played it safe.
Yeah.
I always preach this to even my teammates. Control the ball. As long as you control the ball, you can play it safe and play it slow. You're in the lead.
Sure.
You're in the lead or you're about to get in the lead. Just play it safe.
I agree.
No extravagant stuff. None of that. But thank God that he made terrible plays so Austin can stay on top. They've been doing phenomenal this year, and I want them to keep going.
That they have. Personally, I'm not a huge Texas fan, but they have been doing great.
Are Texas and Oklahoma ready for the SEC? Does the Big 12 seem healthy despite them leaving, with BYU and Cincinnati joining?
Now, this is a huge question, folks, because we've seen the Big 12 defense. We know what the Big 12 defense is. It's non-existent. It's not even a thing. So for them to come over to the powerhouse schools like SEC teams like Alabama, Texas A&M,
Georgia,
Kentucky. Yeah. Oh, my. The list goes on and on. I do not think the future is bright for those two teams in the SEC. I see a lot of 8-5s, 5-7s for them. I don't think it's bright. What do you think, Jayden?
I'm right there with you. Maybe Texas can hold their own,
Yeah.
but OU, I can't see it.
I don't see it happening either. Tony, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the way Texas has been playing recently, like I said, they can hold their own, I'd say, for a little bit, though, because those are powerhouse teams. And they don't normally play them, so it'll be something to adapt to. But I know going into the Cotton Bowl, that's going to be a good game. I feel like UT is going to come out on top. I don't think OU is going to be able to hold us with this confidence we got rolling in.
Yeah. And about the Cotton Bowl, it was a great game this year.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah. I believe Oklahoma pulled that out, right?
Yeah. It was about, 4 points?
It was a close one.
It
It
was
was
a
a
close
Texas
one.
shootout, that's for sure, folks. If you watch that, you enjoy college football if you watch that game. Right now, I'm taking a look at the matchups we got going this weekend. Today, we have University of Virginia versus Louisville, ranked number 11. And this is a good matchup, folks. I think there's a lot of potential here. University of Virginia had just beaten North Carolina, and they were huge underdogs, plus 800 underdogs. They were predicted to lose by 21-plus points. So they got potential against Louisville. Louisville's 8-1, though. University of Virginia is 2-7. So do with that what you want, folks. The total score is 50. The line is 20.5, so they're thinking Louisville is winning by 20.5. Personally, I think the spread for Virginia has some potential there.
Yeah. Speaking of spreads, you have any favorites today? You have any favorites this weekend?
Let me see, man. Let me go look. Okay, this is what I like, folks. I've been looking at the board this week, and this is what I like. North Texas over SMU. I know North Texas is 3-6, but bear with me here. They've played some close football games. They got potential. And I think they got this one this weekend.
Going with the underdog.
Underdog, yes, sir. And they're predicted to lose by 17, so we'll see how that works out for them. Their odds are plus 550, so a $100 bet will win you $650. I'm riding with North Texas there. Don't put the house on it, folks, and don't say I told you to do so.
What about you, Tony? Any favorites this weekend?
This weekend, not necessarily, but I'll tell you what, though, I will be injured in reserve, sitting in my room, watching some games, though.
Hey, beautiful, man. Get you a beer, kick back, watch football. Nothing better than that, right? An excuse to be lazy and watch football.
Right? What were your bets again? Isaiah, who were you going for?
I'm thinking, I said North Texas over SMU, and I'm also picking Georgia Tech to beat Clemson. Clemson is some frauds. What Dabo Swinney is doing over there in Clemson has got to change. I personally think it's time for him to go, and I think Georgia Tech has a lot of firepower right now. They've been playing great football. Haynes King, former Texas A&M quarterback, he transferred over there. He's been playing some of his best football to date. I think the Georgia Tech Hornets, I think it's the Hornets, or Jackets, my bad. Jackets. I think they take that over Clemson.
Okay.
Wait, rewind. You think UNT is going to beat SMU?
Yeah, you want to? Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. You really want to talk about that? Okay. I'm not like putting my like savings on it or anything, but I think it's a chance that they might win. I think it's worth investing.
It's great having faith in the underdogs, but I'm sorry. I think that Mustang's going to run all over that bird, man.
Tony's trying to hit me with a reality check, folks. I guess we'll see come Saturday, right?
Jesus,
or Friday. It's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow night.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. I'll bring you some tissue for your tears.
All right, sounds good, man. All right, well, let's move on to NFL, folks. But there may be a problem. The Cowboys are undefeated, 5-0 against losing team, or 5-0 against teams with losing records. But they're 0-3 against teams with winning records. Most recently, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Give it to Gainwell.
This game is painful.
I'm gonna tell you guys what. Me, I love it whenever I know a Dallas fan's crying. I drink Dallas fan too.
See, I'm from San Antonio, so I don't really have an allegiance to any team, but I do support the Cowboys as a bandwagon fan. And it's sad to see them lose close games like this, especially with every opportunity, every single opportunity. Personally, I don't want to say anything, but it kind of looked rigged that the Cowboys were supposed to win that game. When DeAndre Swift fumbled the football with like a minute 30 left, and they get that stop. The Eagles they're not fumbling the ball with a minute 30 left. It's just, I don't know, man. It was a really fishy game to me.
And then the final drive, for them to get helped by the Philadelphia penalties just to have two of their own.
Oh my goodness, to shoot yourself in the foot when you have every opportunity. And then Dak Prescott, he doesn't have the clutch gene. He's not Brady. He doesn't have the Brady gene.
You said it from the start. They will destroy teams who lose. If they have to go against actual competition, they will not come out on top. And trust me, I have full faith they will make it to the playoffs. Like they always do. They're going to make it to the playoffs. They're not.
But we're going to lose first round probably.
But they're probably going to lose in the first or second round of the playoffs.
See, we're not delusional Cowboy fans. We know that we are excuse me, my language, we are butt at times. And we're not clutch. The Cowboys do not have any clutch genes in their skin. And they haven't since the Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman days. Yeah, Michael Irvin. But, hey, we're going to try to keep a more positive outlook, and maybe the boys will surprise us, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. I root for the Cowboys on every Turkey Bowl game. That is y'all.
That's true. I'm going to be looking forward to that.
On Thanksgiving. I believe y'all win. And Dak Prescott against the Eagles, he made an amazing run. It just, if he was just a little bit quicker.
Too short.
He got trucked by them
linebackers.
Dang, man.
There was a lot of funny memes about that. I wish we could post them up if we can.
That would be kind of.
They're better when Dak Prescott is healthy, and he has been near the top of QB ratings, around 120, right next to Cincinnati's Joe Burrow. Ironically, great quarterback play doesn't guarantee you wins. Look at the Bengals and Cowboys at 5-3. Isaiah, got any tips for us in the NFL? Any good upsets or point spreads?
Let me go take a look at that right now, Jayden. Give me 1 second, my good friend. Gotta navigate this app right here.
Just off the top of your head, how do you feel about today's game?
Personally, like I said earlier, I think it's a toilet bowl we got going on, folks. No offense, Tony. I know you love your Bears, man, but I don't think they have the brightest future unless they get a #1 draft pick that could potentially, bring them some kind of productivity, because they're not looking good, folks. And neither are the Panthers.
I'll tell you what, I actually agree with you. I feel like we need more key players in order to do something. Because right now we have a great quarterback. We recruited one of the best linemen. Now Justin Fields needs a little more options to throw the ball to. Or who to get the ball to.
I do agree with that.
Right now, it's one against 50. He's Captain America going against Thanos and his army.
So you got full faith in Justin Fields. You're calling him Captain America right now.
Yes,
You really think his skill level is Captain America's skill level?
He is the Steve Rogers of Chicago, Illinois right now.
I think that might just be your Bears fan delusion in you, Tony. Hate to break it to you, bud.
Justin's got it. I'll tell you what,
he's nice. I'm not gonna diss on him. He's nice, but I don't think he's Captain America nice. He's not no C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud right now is putting the league on notice that he is a top quarterback.
He is.
And that's something to talk about.
Justin just needs some more time, experience.
Yes. And like you said, receivers. He does need some receivers because DJ Moore
Just
is not
DJ.
cut.
DJ.
Yeah. He needs some more.
But a positive for tonight's game. The winner of this game impacts the Bears. The trade between the Panthers and the Bears for the #1 pick.
Really?
If the Bears lose,
This is crucial.
their
then.
pick
So
is better.
It really is the toilet
If
bowl.
the Bears win, the pick they got from the Panthers is better.
This is crucial, folks.
Now, what's dumb, I feel like they're going to make the wrong move just like the Texans did last year. I bet you they're going to win one game they need to lose. That is going to cost them the draft pick.
Yep, I couldn't agree more, Tony. And honestly, I don't see the Panthers winning this game. I think the Bears will walk over them.
I have the Bears winning tonight, too.
I do want to check that spread because I don't know how much they're favored by, but
The Bears are favored by 3.5.
they're favored by 3 now. I think that's a solid bet. I wouldn't put the house on it, but I think it's a solid bet. A little flip, it's at -110, I think. It's not a bad bet to take. Panthers, I don't see them getting it done. If they do, it's going to be because Bryce Young has a phenomenal game, and he's probably going to be dotting up Adam Thielen down the field and probably have 2 touchdowns. If they win, that's if the Panthers win. All right, thank you, folks, for tuning in today. That does it for Texas State Talking Sports.
I'm Jayden Lockett.
I'm Isaiah Cook.
And
Thank y'all for joining us. We out.
Yeah.
Tony Cooper. Don't forget about Tony. Hey, he's injured, but hey, he's still here. Love you, Tony. Later, man.